Hi, it's Dave again with DRH Acrylic Creation. Today, I'm going to be doing a piece that's less about the art and more about the process of how I discover the way that new paints react when I put them down on the canvas. I've got some Nova color and they just arrived today, and I'm hoping that this piece will come out at least acceptable, but we'll see. Today's Thursday train. Right after me is going to be Just Janice, followed by Michelle of Royal River, filling in for Art by Julie. We're hoping she'll be back in the next couple of weeks. So let's get right to it, get down to the canvas. Let's talk just a tad about what I'm doing today. I am trying some new paints. Just got in the mail about a week and a half ago some of the TriArt Rose Gold. I mixed it up with my BEHR 8300 Gilsonia mix, and it's fairly thick, probably a little too thick. I might have to fudge around with that. Let me see. Second color I'm doing, I just got the box from today. This is from Nova color, and this is super gold pearl, and it is definitely thick. It's glumpy. So this was just mixed up because the consistency of that paint was slightly different than what I'm used to. It was thinner in between what a high flow would be and a 2 paint. So I went with just straight a BEHR 8300. I need to thin that a little bit. Second one I got here, it's Nova color Ruby Red. Beautiful. There's a pearlescent to it. It's a beautiful color. Again, I mixed it with straight 8300, and it's a bit thick, so I'm going to have to work with that also. To that, I needed some contrasting color. This is a newish color. This is my Yellow Gold by TriArt. It's about the right consistency. It's a little thickish, but I'm not going to thin that down. I'm going to bring everything up to that. Two of my colors here. This is this little Piggy Rad, and you can see the consistency of that. It's about the same. I'm going to just take care of the ones that I need to and get to fixing that. And this is abalone, and abalone definitely needs some loosening up. So let me do that. When I have paints that have thickened up on me, which happens, what you use for that is Gilsonia varnish. Let me, yeah, that's right. Gilsonia varnish. You know, Gilsonia varnish it's a high gloss varnish. It's not thick, it's not thin. It will thin things out without breaking down. So it helps support the binder. And I'm going to start with the abalone. There's so little of it in there. And I'm going to just put about, I don't know, it was a little bigger than a couple drops. Flowed. And you can see there, it's a little glumpy. But it's flowing. Let me put just a drop or two more. It's more a feel than anything else. So abalone is a beautiful color. It's a beautiful light blue with a gold undertone. You can see that gold. So we're gonna put that to the side. That's about right. Let me pick up the red because that was heavy. Again, small little squirt. Just seeing if I can loosen it up a bit. Last resort for me, when something is way thick and I need to really get it moving, I'll put a few drops of water. I don't like to do that because that will break down the binder faster than anything. And it's all about keeping your binders in place. With all paints, pigments, you add binders to it. With all paints, they have a binder. Even that Nova color, which I just showed you, and I should show you the jar in just a second, it was thinnish. So you can see there, now that's at this pretty close to the right consistency. The yellow gold, I don't think I want to do anything with that because that's about right. So the yellow gold is a beautiful color. It's my replacement for nickel azo gold. I have some nickel azo gold, but I need to start working with something else. What I like about this, although it doesn't stretch out the same, it's transparent enough so that when it goes against white, it has a beautiful transparency to it. So that's why I like that. Now I want to show you, I'm going to show you the ruby in just a second and show you the difference. This is right out of the jar. And you can see it's thickish. Yeah, it clumps. But as compared to most jar or tube paints, this is relatively thin. So I didn't want to put my regular pouring medium into it because I didn't want it to get too thin too fast. So, but this is rather thickish. So I am going to go ahead and add. That was a nice healthy squirt. Wish I could one of these times actually measure this out, but as you get to know your paints, and that's the important part of doing any fluid art, you need to learn what your paints do, and what you're really actually learning is how they feel when they're at the right consistency. And the consistencies is what it's all about. Once you have the consistencies down, you're in business. So just a little tiny bit. I'm mixing just before I pour. There's going to be bubbles involved. That's to be expected. Usually I would let this sit for at least 24 hours. Okay, that's about the right consistency. You can see how it's coming off that paddle, that spoon, and it's going into the paint and then dissipating almost maybe a second on the surface. So that's about right. The gold was the same consistency as I just showed you with the ruby. Healthy squirt. A little bit more of it in here, so I'm gonna have to mix a little longer. Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing these paints. There are several artists that are using the Nova color, and they're vibrant. This gold, or this super pearl gold, is, I mean, it looks really light there. Once you get it down on the canvas, it is just something else. First person I saw use this was Jessica with Winterstrom, and I loved it so much I just had to wait to, excuse the train. Where I live, there's trains 24/7. Usually I cut that out. A little bit more. I think the key to any of this is you don't really want to stir or mix like you're trying to whip something, like you're trying to incorporate eggs together. You really kind of want to fold, and you're going to still get bubbles, but it won't be as bad. There won't be those little micro bubbles. Okay, hope you can see that. It's close, very close actually. You need to start being very careful because you can go from close to too thin very quickly. Okay, that's about right. Okay. Let me see if I can give you you can see how gold that is. Okay, last This, the Tri-Art Rose Gold. Lisa Marvin does a lot with the rose gold, and it's almost a dusty rose. It's almost a dusty rose, but the gold undertone is really pretty. It's a beautiful color. There you go. It has that significant amount of bubbles in it. And again, it's a new color for me, the new paint for me, and I've got to learn it. Okay, so what I have shown you is all the colors. I'm hoping this color palette, let me put it side by side. I'm hoping this color palette will be complementary. I've got my super gold, there's the rose gold, then I have the ruby, the rad, which is that is a opaque color. This is the gold and yellow. It's kind of to complement the gold, and my accent color is the abalone, which the reason I chose it is, let's see if you can see that. I might have shown you earlier. You can see that gold shift with it, so it should work really nicely with the gold. So that's my color palette. Hopefully it doesn't turn to mud, and we'll get started. I think what I'm going to do today, because I have so many bubbles, I think I'm going to do a swipe. So I'm going to explain what I'm doing as I do it. I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a comment down in the comments section as far as if you'd like to see more of my instructive videos where I spend time talking about what I'm doing. I've gotten into the habit over the last couple months of doing mostly doing the actual doing of the artwork. So honestly, I had a comment recently that asked for more of the instructive, and that's actually where I come from. Most of you maybe not know, some of you that watch me regularly, I am a retired music teacher. I taught music for 25 years. Before that, I was a freelance musician in Los Angeles, and prior to that, I was a Marine musician in the Marine Corps. So my life was in the arts, but in music. So this was coming to fluid art was a natural extension for me because I could no longer play. So teaching is a passion for me, and I hope that comes across. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see, because I do appreciate that. Let's get to it. Okay, my pillow paint is going down. This is PPG MULTI-PRO. Just meant to keep my paints moving. This is the Super Pearl Gold. What I'm doing is I'm blocking out my colors, much like the geometric style that Jessica Winterstrom is doing now. It's a work in progress, not there yet. This is the rose gold. I'm not a pink kind of guy, but I kind of like this rose gold. That's the ruby. A stronger color than I thought it was going to be. Now that's the rad. Rad is a fluorescent color, or neon color, excuse me. And that is the abalone. Probably my favorite blue, but they're all favorites. And I'm swiping with a gold cell activator, a titanium white, and a lamp black. All three of them Amsterdam. I'm going to do some scooping and dragging. Try to stretch out those cells. Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let you watch. See you at the end. Talk about this just a second. Overall, it's a mess. But you know, it's a learning experience. I am learning how these paints react. And the reaction isn't horrible. It's just the flow and the design here really doesn't meet my exacting standards. It has values. I mean, there are things about it I kind of like. So it's not a total loss. I'm going to let it dry, and I probably paint over it later if I feel the same way after it dries. So, but that's where I left it. Very good. Let me take you over for the slow and easy. That was fun. Again, it was more about the process than it was the artwork. And I hope that helped you and maybe you got something out of it. Up after me is Just Janice, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.